Well, our audience is like a bunch of drug addicts. Some are in recovery. Most are in recovery at this point. Some are on the fence and some aren't.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to worry about like telling them the wrong thing or anything. Cause I mean, like they're in the road that we're in. And I think I've read you talk about the warmth that hits you with dope, and just you talking about Keith Richards and Miles Davis. And I know what a reader you are and how much you appreciate art. I know for myself, like when I first started doing dope, I was like, my brain isn't bothering me anymore. Like my brain isn't giving me like, you're not good enough. Like you're worrying about this, you're worrying about that. All of a sudden I feel nothing good. And like, finally I don't have to fret. Like I'm as cool as I could imagine being because I don't have to worry about anything. And I didn't have anything when I got addicted. I had a little job and like, I was like, I'm just going to do this. I you know, the Lou Reed song, like Heroin, where he says, I've made a decision. And I remember when I made the decision, like, when did you turn the corner on trying it to being like, I can handle this, or thinking that you could?
This is the crazy part about my story is I never even thought about controlling it or anything. It wasn't until I got clean and sober that I was able to look at anything and go, I can't do just one. I just can't. Which was freeing for me because, you know, once you're really strung out, in my case, when I was really strung out on dope, then comes this wrestling match with your addiction. I remember buying a large chunk of heroin and breaking it down with my dealer from a gram to this much to this much and it was like, in 28 days you will be clean and sober with this process.
The impossible wean.
Day one, like I fucking slammed the dope. I'm like, okay. And then in the evening, I'm like, I got the itch. You know, maybe I'll just chip a little out of that. And you know, it was all gone in a week, and I got even more strung out. I can't do anything once. I don't think I can ever drink. I know I can't ever drink. It's just the way it is, and I'm sure some of your listeners can relate to this. I apply my addictive behavior to my family, how much I love them, obsessed with my family, with music, with photography. Something that's been important in my life is books. And, you know, now we're on the 4th New York Times bestseller. And so now I have some people talking to me about, you know, what's the next steps for that. Me and my wife are working on a children's book, and awesome. I just formed a production company and signed a deal with a huge director. We're starting developing an animation for children, episodic, that is based around music. So each show, based on the age group that we're working on, which is 6 to 9, will have an original song. So it might be a co-write, it might be an original for me, it might be something that we license, you know, but it's all music driven. And I've just noticed through Ruby, my 2.5-year-old, that when we're watching any children programming and music comes on, she gets going, you know, she starts dancing, and I was like, this is what happened to me. When I heard music, I started going like, what's that in the background? What is that on my grandmother's radio? What is that? I mean, I remember hearing Petulia Clark, driving around Los Angeles with my mom, hearing Petulia Clark's song Downtown, which was about downtown Los Angeles. And the bells were ringing, dude. It was like, jing, 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 jing. And I was writing stuff down. And, you know, I never set out to be a songwriter. I just trying to document the crazy in my brain. And you're right, the heroin and other things quieted the monster. So I want that monster to scream, but I just want to point him in the right direction.